Hey guys, OJ Albine here, bringing you guys my UPO Wi-Fi Season 2 Week 6 match against our buddy It's in his Sacramento Nidokings. Now, I know there wasn't a UPO video last week. That's simply because I did not have a replay to share with you guys. The game was actually played on Showdown because my opponent couldn't find Jenning in time and stuff like that. The game was very, very late and stuff like that beyond the due date, and both of us kind of just forgot to save the replay, so there is no replay for that. Unfortunately, we did lose. Pretty tough game. Aaron played very well. He beat us, I believe it was like a 3-0 game? 3-0 or 4-0, one of those two. So we did unfortunately fall to a 3-2 record, so this week is a very big week. We definitely want to win to hopefully go up 4-2, opposed to dropping to a 500 record here against it. But he is a very talented player, and he has a very scary team. Let's go over the rosters really quick, just so we can jump into the game as soon as possible. Our team, if you did forget, consists of the Mega Lucario, Garchomp, Rotom Wash, Rabombi, Roserade, Steelix, Spiritomb, Victini, Reuniclus, Tyrantrum, Braviary, and Kangaskhan, while our opponent's team consists of the Genesect, Zygarde 50%, Slowbro, Delmise, Crobat, Drapion, Rotom, Mega Diancie, Necrozma, Klefki, Blaziken, and Smeargle. So the 6 that we're bringing, you can see them right on the screen there. We're bringing a Nasty Plot, 3 attacks, Mega Lucario with a good amount of HP investment to live, certain hits after rocks and stuff like that, so that we can more easily set up on his team. Bringing a Choice Scarf Garchomp with 3 attacks and Toxic. We have Fire Fang for things like Magnemize Klefki and Genesect and things like that. It outpaces Scarf Genesect, which is really, really nice for our team. We have a Shuckleberry or Rotom Wash right here as well, just to potentially take a hit from that Zygarde. If you look at our team and you look at Zygarde, Zygarde absolutely runs through us. Like, it absolutely just demolishes us, which is terrifying. And then after that, we have a special Scarf Victini. We're running with Dual Scarf this week. U-Turn, Blue Flare, Thunderbolt, and Glaciate. And then we have an Iapapa Berry Tyrantrum with Dragon Dance, Head Smash, Earthquake, and Dragon Claw. A good amount of HP investment as well to, be a pretty decent flying resist versus his team. I believe did I say he has Crobat? Yeah, he has Crobat, and this team actually didn't switch very well into Crobat at all, other than Rotom, and I need Rotom to kind of stay healthy so I can lure that Zygarde, because Zygarde runs through us. And then I also have a dual screens Rabombi. We're not running Sticky Web, we're just running Moonblast, Hidden Power, Fire for the Genesect, Light Screen, and Reflect with Light Clay, hopefully to help us set up with our Garchomp with our Mega Lucario to win the game. If you look at this team, you look at Nasty Lucario, it really does go in. He does not have much for it. Physical, he had things like Slowbro to potentially check us and things like that, so I figured a special set was definitely more up our alley this week. Being able to break through both of his bulky psychics is a little bit better, because I expect they'll be more Phys-Def oriented and stuff like that. But yeah, with that being said, let's jump right into the matchup. So you'll see right away, no Zygarde and no Genesect. So he didn't bring his two, top threats, in my opinion. I'm completely fine with not seeing them. Genesect is, I guess, a little bit more understandable. I have a lot to outspeed it and revenge it. If he's not Scarf and it doesn't, particularly locking into one move versus me, but I was really scared of, a Shift Gear set. But the no Zygarde really, really did confuse me there. I don't have a ground resist on an arrows resist on my team. I have Rotom, which, is immune to it, and I have Rabombi, but those two really don't like taking 1,000 arrows from boosted Zygarde and things like that, so I was very surprised, but I will definitely take it. I do see the Smeargle, though, and being that I did see the Smeargle, I am going to elect to lead off with my Rotom, simply because that is my defogger this week, and if I can bring that thing down to its Sash and then defog away the webs, that's super, super nice for us. Or even if I can just bring it down to a Sash and then kill it, I can defog on literally anything on his team. Nothing can OHKO my Rotom in one hit at all. So that's definitely going to be my plan, as I do lead off with the Rotom, and we see he does lead off with the Smeargle. Now, turn 1, I'm going to throw off a Hydro Pump, bring it down to a Sash. I don't have Thunderbolt, or I would have gone for that, and I miss. And he's going to go for the Spore, and you're going to see that is a really, really, really big play, because of the fact that I go to sleep right here, and he gets to get off his Sticky Web with his Sash intact. Now, he would have gotten it off regardless, because of the fact that he, put me to sleep, and he's likely Sash and things like that. But being that I don't get to bring it down to a Sash, even if my Rotom wakes up later, this thing can potentially come back in and then still set up its webs again, which is honestly just really, really terrifying for our team to deal with. As right here, he is going to switch out, preserve his Sash, go into his Necrozma, and this being asleep in front of a Necrozma is not a good idea. I unfortunately get max sleep turns right here. I don't wake up on the second turn either. which is really, really unfortunate. Next time we come in, we will be guaranteed to wake up, I believe. No, we won't be guaranteed. That's not max sleep turns yet. But I am going to go into my Tyrant. I know I can take any one hit from this thing at +1, even if it's not a Z, unless it's a Z move or something like that, as he does go for the autotomize, you know, doubling his speed and things like that. Definitely outspeeding any Scarfers and things like that now. And then he's going to throw off the Z move right here, and I believe that is a Groundian Z animation. And unfortunately, we will not be living that. We could definitely live a modest Earth Power, but we cannot live a modest Tectonic Rage most of the time. And it might have been a roll. I don't think it was. I think it knocked us out pretty much all the time. Our Tyrantrum had a good amount of HP, but if we would have been able to live this hit and get off a big head smash, and, you know, get our Eye of Poppinberry back up, that would have been great. But unfortunately, we are going to go down right here to the Necrozma, and this game is looking very, very tough at this point. I'm going to go into my Garchomp. I know this thing is probably Calm Mind, but because of the fact that I know he can't knock me out in one hit, I'm going to go in and I'm going to throw off a Toxic, as he does go for the Calm Mind right here, getting +1/+1 and +2 speed, which is, again, very, very scary for my team to deal with. But getting a Toxic on this thing will at least mean that I can put it on the timer. We're going to see these Sticky Webs are really going to be holding us back in this game right here. As well as just, you know, Necro being a threat, in all honesty. Like, taking out my Tyrantrum in one hit. Maybe I should have scouted for the Z move, gone into Rotom or something like that, but I didn't want to risk him being Psychium Z, something of that sort. As I am going to go out into my Victini, trying to bait out a Photon Geyser from this thing and kind of pivot around it, as he does go for that right here, and I am going to be able to eat that up pretty nicely. Taking less than half from it, which is cool, because now we can get a little bit more Poison Chip off on this thing. And right here, expecting an Earth Power, I'm going to pivot out into my Rabombi, trying to, you know, rack up more Toxic turns and stuff like that. But it actually makes a phenomenal play right here, going for the Photon Geyser, expecting me to try and pivot around this thing. He sees what I'm trying to do. Because it's kind of my only play at this point, as he is going to be able to take out my Rabombi in one hit as well. Even though we're max HP, this is a modest Necrozma, I found out after the match, so we're definitely not living that hit, unfortunately, as I can go back out into my Rotom, hopefully waking up and hopefully getting a defog off, because I really don't want these webs on my side of the field, because if, you know, I just don't take hits as well with them up, as I am going to live. I am going to wake up, and I'm going to get off a nice defog right here, getting away those webs for the entirety of the game and stuff like that, which is, again, phenomenal for me. He's going to take a little bit more Toxic Chip, go down to below half, and being that I know his full moveset, he does not have room for Morning Sun on the set, so while it took out 3 Mons, it was not able to completely clean sweep through my team, which is at least nice in itself. My Rotom is going to go down right here, so that means if the Smeargle comes back in and gets up webs, they're there to stay, which is, again, really, really unfortunate. It really does suck, and I'm going to go into my Garchomp. I'm going to go for Earthquake. He actually apparently was not creeping Scarf Chomp at +2. He must have had a ton of bulk in this thing. I don't really know, because I never really got a hit off it besides this. So we are going to be able to take out the Necrozma, not get 6-0'd, which is nice. And that thing is going to go down right here. Now he's going to go back out into a Smeargle, and this is where that turn 1 Hydro sucks. Because now I'm going to obviously be able to go for the Earthquake, but he isn't going to be able to get up his webs pretty much no problem here. Due to, you know, the fact that he was able to keep his Sash going. So he's going to put my Garchomp to sleep. It was a pretty no drawback play. I don't have a Spore switching on this team right now. And then he's going to be able to get up his webs right here. But expecting that play, knowing he cannot Spore my Lucario, I'm going to go hard into it. And try and go for game right here. I feel like that's honestly my best play. I don't have rocks up, so taking on that Drapion is going to be a little bit more iffy, in all honesty, as he is going to go for the Sticky Web. I'm going to throw off my Mega right here, and knowing he can't Spore me, he can't really do a lot of damage to me, I'm going to throw up a Nasty Plot. If he has the Taunt and he can get me at, or like the Nuzzle or something like that, that's a great play on his end, as he actually reveals the Beak Blast, which is a really, really cool idea, because of the fact that if I was a physical set and I wanted to attack him, I would actually get burned. And that would make my Lucario pretty much useless if I was a physical set. But he is going to throw out the Beak Blast, do next to nothing, because Smeargle is incredibly weak. And he's going to throw off another Beak Blast right here, which is a pretty crazy play, because I'm just going to set up another Nasty Plot. Being that he showed me that move, I figure he does not have Nuzzle, and I can kind of just keep setting up. As he does throw off another Beak Blast, I'm up to +4 right now, and I outspeed everything on my opponent's team, barring like a Scarf Drapion, which I actually do live a hit from this range. So right here, I'm going to go up to +6, and it actually told me after the game he had topsy-turvy on this Smeargle. Why he didn't click this, I don't know. I don't think he knows either. He told me that was definitely, what he wanted to click, or that was definitely the plan. Or, like, it was kind of a choke not to. But, nonetheless, we're going to be able to take out this Smeargle. And this game is looking really, really nice after looking really terrifying, before. As he's going to go out into the Klefki. A +6 flash cannon should always knock this thing out, as he unfortunately reveals the light screen, which really does suck because this basically makes us +3, I believe, like the equivalent to +3. I'm going to throw off the flash cannon. I believe we still clean knock this thing out. He might have been Fizz. I don't even know. He might have been Spadef. Lucario's strong. That's a +3 adaptability flash cannon. But we're going to be able to knock it out. He's going to go into the Drapion right here, as I am going to just throw off another flash cannon. I don't, depending on his spread, if he's like AV, I don't necessarily always knock him out. He's going to show to be heavily Spadef. He is going to, unfortunately, live that hit, go for the Earthquake, but due to our pretty hefty bulk investment, I think we had like 100 HP, we're actually going to live that flash cannon, that Earthquake from the Drapion right there, because it was heavily Spadef invested, not super attack invested. We're going to be able to throw off another flash cannon, knock out this Drapion, and go on to what looks like a Mega Lucario sweep right here. As he's going to go out into the Slowbro, I do have the Dark Pulse for this thing, and if he's like Fizdef at all, he should die, and I don't think he's Colbert because he didn't go into this thing yet, as I do go for the Dark Pulse, and it does just a bit too little, unfortunately, as he is going to be able to go for a Scald right here and knock out our Lucario, and this really, really sucks. This basically seals the game for us. We lost. I don't know why I didn't go out into this earlier. He just might have assumed that it died. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can really do unless I wake up with my Garchomp right here and knock this thing out. There's not much way for me to win. I can potentially live a Moonblast from Diancie, but unfortunately, we're going to not wake up on this turn. He's going to go for the Ice Beam, knock us down really low as the light screen wears out, unfortunately. We're going to go for try and wake up again, as we unfortunately do not. His Slowbro is going to knock out my Garchomp right here, and this game is all but sealed. We are going to be able to bring it down to a nice 1-0, though, because our Victini is Scarf in the back, and we can potentially, we're going to be able to knock out this Slowbro if he leaves it in for Sack Fodder. It would be an absolute choke. I kind of hope he goes Diancie on the Thunderbolt, and I get like a para, and then we can get like into full para and potentially just win the game. But he's not. He's going to make the smart play. He's going to show to be Wakan Berry opposed to Colbert Berry, but that's not going to matter at 5%. We're going to be able to knock out the Slowbro, as my opponent is just going to be able to go to Diancie and basically throw off a hit and knock us out. Unless he's Mono Moonblast, there's no way for us to really win this game, unfortunately, as we do take a tough 1-0 loss. Now, I do think this game would have been much, much different if we did, in fact, get off the Hydro Pump on that Smeargle turn 1, because then the webs wouldn't have went up the second time, and I think having a full-speed Garchomp and full-speed Victini would have been very, very nice for us. He's going to throw off the Diamond Storm. He's going to hit. I could have also hoped for a miss there, but unfortunately we don't get the miss, and we're going to lose 1-0 to our buddy It's. GG's to him. It was definitely an interesting game, I'll say that. We were actually playing this game in call, so that made it even more interesting. It was definitely a roller coaster of emotions playing this one, but unfortunately we're going to be able to drop into 3-3 right here, as next week, I believe, we take on our buddy John, Bagel John, and his, I don't remember his team name, but it's something Nidokings. He has a Mewtwo. We do have a phenomenal Mewtwo check, but Mewtwo is Mewtwo, so I am a bit spooked about that one, but we need to win that game. We went from 3-0, top of the league in standings, doing phenomenally, to dropping 3 games in a row, going 3-3, so we really do need to pick it up in these next couple weeks in order to secure ourselves a playoff spot. I'm completely fine with my regular season record as long as I do end up in the playoff race afterwards. My goal is to win the championship, not look cool in the regular season, so hopefully we can do that. But again, GG's to It's. Be sure to check him out. I'll put him in the link below. He's in Leagues Like Academy and stuff like that, and he's uploading that this season, which is really, really cool, so definitely check him out. And with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're new, be sure to subscribe so you can catch all our games as they go up every week, and I'm going to get out of here. Later.